Hello, and welcome to the Warren Buffett podcast with Matthew Warren-Katz and Steve Buffett. Steve, how are you doing today?
I had 3 beers last night, and today I feel like shit. So again, just getting old.
Are you really up to just three is your limit here?
Evidently, yeah. You put three, what was it, Modelo's in me, and I just sleep like shit. I wake up exhausted.
Three
Oh man,
Modelo's?
glad it's Sunday and not Monday. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. I am also I don't care that it's Sunday because I am only working 3 days this week because I have a new job starting after that. So I truly don't give a fuck. I've noticed that when you're
Oh,
in the last 2 weeks of your job, it's like the exact opposite of every other time that you've been working. Because when you're working, you're trying to push your own projects as forward as fast as possible, and the people you need help from on other teams and stuff kind of don't care. But now that there's a real deadline, everyone else wants to move my stuff forward as fast as possible, and I don't give a fuck, which is great.
yeah. It's kind of nice to just not give any shits about what's going on around you, right? It's like being independently wealthy for 2 days.
So yeah, no, exactly. I'm gonna be unemployed for 2 days, and I've already started making jokes in my head that I'm going to tell to my girlfriend, like, "Hey, babe, I'm unemployed right now, so hopefully, that doesn't bother you or anything." And I'm hoping that she'll say stuff to me like, "You sure you want to buy that right now? You're unemployed, for 2 days."
You gotta eat, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm gonna say when we go and get we're gonna go to a Michelin restaurant for sushi on Friday, and so I'll be unemployed but eating at a Michelin star restaurant, which I think should be a pretty funny little accolade there.
I think only if you tell the waiter, like, I'm unemployed.
Yeah.
So let's take it easy on the drinks.
I'm unemployed, so I'll just get the first champagne bottle. Like
I'm celebrating my unemployment.
yeah. Um I feel like a lot of people that I've been talking to lately are kind of like in somewhat of a rut, or they feel like they're in one while the weather is starting to get nicer and the pandemic's kind of ending. A lot of people are kind of like, what happened? Like, feel like stuff didn't change for me over the last year, but I don't have that feeling because I'm changing jobs, so it's different. But I've seen a lot of people being like, oh, I feel like I haven't changed anything or done anything. You kind of also had sort of said like you're getting real run down from pandemic living indoors and stuff, not seeing people, stuff like that.
Yeah, I've got to agree with that take. It's weird, right? Like, I think everybody is under this impression that, oh, we're all getting the Pfizer vaccine, and then, next step, like spring break at the streets of Chicago. But my office isn't going to be. I mean, I don't know how many offices are, but my office isn't going to be open for probably the rest of this year, and I'm just like, I really have to start getting into the mindset of this not being a temporary phenomenon. Like, it's going to end in a week, but it's still going to be, almost another year of just looking at my computer, surrounded by nothing but my cat. So I don't know. It's a weird feeling. And yeah, I think it is starting to run me down a little bit. I'm sure it's running everybody down that it's been a year and there's still a bit to go. But I'm starting to get into the mindset of like, all right, like what can I do to not make myself feel like shit? I noticed over the last 2 weeks, I like didn't exercise. I ate like nothing but like think it was like Cheerios and like crackers. And, I just like wore like a comfy sweater and basketball shorts for 2 weeks. And, even I think even my cat was like, dude, you got to dress up like a little bit every now and again.
Well, so you know
So,
how like when you get a new job, you get like some new clothes and stuff, like you want to like look good in the
yeah.
office or whatever. I'm gonna be permanently remote, so I bought like sweatpants. I got like new comfy sweatpants. They're real nice. I got a monitor, to work on. It's gonna be a nice,
Yep.
I've just doubled down on the neckbeard lifestyle basically.
Yeah. I just invested in a standing desk.
Oh, did you? My other friend
Um,
did that
yeah,
too.
man. Yeah, it does feel a little bit better to not just, feel like I'm on my ass 24 hours a day, but there are like 2 hours a day where I'm actually on my feet, like by, ancient forefathers.
Yeah. I used to I haven't done this in a while, but sometimes like if I'm working on stuff that needs to like run, like the code needs to run for like 5 minutes, like a model needs to build or something like that. Um, I would like have my laptop near the pool table, and then I would play pool while I waited for like stuff to finish. But you can really only do that for so long. It's not something you can do every day, the whole day.
No, no, I'm sure you're really good at pool though. Yeah, I need
I'm
to
not.
come up with some sort of uh
I had a friend over on
I need to
Friday.
come up with some sort of hobby or something.
I had a friend over on Friday. He's one of those vaccinated fucks, and he beat me every round of pool. So, if you want to get a
Wow,
hobby, you can just come over and kick my ass at pool all day.
that sounds great. The second I'm vaccinated, I'm just gonna beat the shit out of you at pool.
You should just if even if I win the game, you can just beat me to death at the pool cue.
That's fine. Yeah. We're playing for life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I invested in some joggers, some athleisure wear, I
Mm.
really just wanna yeah, I can't wear basketball like there's something just about wearing basketball shorts that I think pisses everyone here off. So yeah, I'm gonna be like halfway to business professional.
I did uh did you ever think about like since trying to change like your perspective and stuff, there's only so much you can really do. Like have you ever considered like VR or like psychedelics or something, kind of get a new reality, a little break from the monotony of the scamdemic?
Not not really VR, but I've considered some sort of psychedelic mushroom action to, I don't know, put me in a different headspace. I think I got pretty depressed for a second there with just the 3 weeks of no sunshine. I was like, this is not good. And I thought about, yeah, doing some sort of psychedelic or something of that nature to just see if that changes me cognitively for even a minute and see if I can gather anything from that.
You've never taken any psychedelics before, right? You've just had like a little weed, and you've never had like real, like any
No, I've
tripping
never done
experience.
any, yeah, psyched. Right, right. Now I've seen people do it, and it looks like a good time. But no.
It can be a good time. It can be a real good time, or can be awful. But I think for the most part, it's pretty easy to make it a good time. Just take like the right amount. Just don't. So I'll tell you the things
Yep.
that this is based off of a story and an experience that I've had. So um, make sure you take the proper amount. Don't take 4 times what the dealer says. Even
Mm.
if you have done that much before, they will be able to tell, or he or she will be able to tell you, or they, uh, if it is too strong. And that was something that I fucked up on. So we ended up taking like, I'd always there's like a thing people say like, oh, take like an eighth of mushrooms. It's kind of like a meme, like take an eighth of them, and I'd never done that before. The most I'd ever taken was like a half eighth, and I wanted to take a full eighth, right? So
Yep.
I kind of mentioned this to dude we're getting these mushrooms from, and he says to me, "Well, these are like really strong. Like I would just take half. That's the equivalent of like a full eighth normally." And then we're kind of like hung up on the meme, like the number, like well, I want to take an eighth, like blah blah blah. So long story short, took too much. And the idea was, so this is the second tip here, along with take the right amount. The second tip is going to be eat beforehand, because when you're tripping, you won't know that you're hungry and you'll just feel bad and then not know why, and
Uh,
you'll have a bad trip until you eat hot cocoa. And then your friend who doesn't drink hot cocoa will continue to have a bad trip and then be bummed out for like 6 months.
okay. Should I eat should
Yeah.
I eat a lot, a little? Like should I have like a deep dish pizza before this? Am I training for a marathon?
I'd say something filling, so that you could maybe go like even like 12 hours without eating if you had to. Like just kind of like,
Oh wow.
yeah, just feel like, just in case you like, don't feel like eating at the end or something, you don't get like like a hunger ache or whatever, just have like some oatmeal, like a protein shake, something not bad like that, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big lasagna. I'm on it.
Yeah. And then definitely like make sure you go out into nature too. Like go take a walk in like a park or something.
Yeah, that's what I hear, and that's what I've always seen. People just kind of walking around trees and looking at the
Yeah.
sky. That sounds nice.
And
Yeah, I feel
yeah.
like doing that and then walking around the concrete jungle would be actually very, very bad.
It's not fun. I feel like mushrooms are only fun in like a city at night if it's like really late and you're like going to like a weird like after hours party thing. Like I wouldn't really, and also if you've done them before, like I wouldn't recommend trying to like achieve enlightenment like near a place that has like half off pizza or something. Like that's not like the way to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
You don't even need like a nice park. It doesn't need to be like forest or anything. It's just something simple. There's a tree, a backyard even is nice. I remember sitting on the balcony of an apartment once, and there was a tree across the street, and that was enough for me. So just see
Mm,
something green should be good. Um, kind of helpful. But yeah, it's a good
cool.
time. Just take a small amount. You can always take more. You can never take less. Make sure you have a little bit to eat. This is not a tip for you, but to anybody who's listening, if you regularly smoke weed, make sure you smoke weed when you're on mushrooms.
Hmm. Why?
It kind of helps you have a bit more of like a grounded like experience, I guess, and it can also make the visuals more intense. So like I think that it's kind of about like, it's kind of similar logic to like eat beforehand because you won't recognize that you're hungry if you like smoke weed every day. And now, you've gone like 15, 20 hours like without smoking weed because of mushrooms, you may start feeling weird just because you're not used to not being high and then be
Oh,
like,
gotcha.
yeah, so it's like a similar thing. Um,
Okay.
that's worth mentioning just because so many people who smoke weed a lot tend to be like, oh, I'm going to try mushrooms.
Gateway drug. I've said it before, I'll say it again.
Weed and
Never said
mushrooms are
that.
the only drugs that you like do and you're like, I don't want to do that again for a while. Like like if you never take mushrooms and the next day you're like, dude, I gotta do that again. It's always like, wow, that was really interesting.
Yeah, now I need to like take a break and go back to living normally.
Yeah. There's like a lot of research that says that mushrooms can help you with depression and just bad kinds of feelings in general. And I feel like that's definitely true. I've had a lot of good realizations about myself and the world and like stuff that you can and can't do or whatever while on mushrooms. Usually it's kind of eye opening to me. You're like, oh man, like that thing that I thought was holding me back really isn't. Like I can do it. I can do that if I want to, or I don't have to keep doing this one thing I'm doing just because I've done it for a long time. I can change and do something else. It's a nice way to kind of you know um, give yourself permission to act on your feelings that you may try not to. I suppose it's a nice drug to take. It's a good experience. They do clinical stuff with it, so
Hmm. Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
yeah. Yeah, so that'd be fun. Are you thinking about doing it in the
Yeah,
summer?
that'd be cool. I'll give it some serious thought. Oh yeah, I was thinking about it. Just floating the idea out there. See, I mean, there's like no green, no trees, no like evidence of life until late spring here. So I think I
Yeah.
think the summer would probably be ideal to go for a walk and try it out.
Yeah, I think, if you can do it on a day where it's
We'll
not
see.
too
I'll let you know.
warm, it's also good. Like, just kind of keep in mind, like, some of your senses will be a bit more, like, stupid. Like, you won't realize if you're hungry or something like that, Like, you won't realize if you're just, like, way too fucking hot. Like, unless you're kind of used to being on them, which most people aren't. You probably will never get there. I've never been there before. But, yeah, if you do, it'd be fun. Make sure you're
Right.
with someone who, is either like not on them or has done them before and can like be there and make sure stuff's cool. Um, yeah, even a small amount will be like probably what you're looking for. Like you're not trying to like trip, right? You're trying to like experience a new type of like consciousness or feel a certain way or kind of like make realizations about yourself. You don't really need that much to do that.
Is there any possibility of a bad trip?
Um, I mean, if you take way too much, probably, but I don't think so. I think that if you go into it understanding that just make sure you're happy and in a good mood beforehand, and like if you feel nervous before doing it, just reschedule. Don't like force yourself to do it. Just be like, you know what, fuck it, we'll do it another time.
Mhm.
Just make sure you're comfortable, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like it'd be a bad move to go in like super depressed.
Yeah, don't do
Then
that.
again, like I think any drug, if you're or alcohol, if you're super depressed, it's probably not a good move.
Yeah, that's actually one of Marilyn Manson's rules and pieces of advice is never do drugs when you're sad or angry. Only when you're happy. I don't think he follows that, but he says it.
Smart guy.
Yeah. So, yeah.
No, I doubt it.
Yeah. Um who are you going to do them with? You going to go up to you going to do it with our good friend from the last episode? Ben?
No, well, maybe. I don't know if he's into that, but I think I've got another group of friends who are probably on board with that. I've seen them do it before.
Oh, okay. Nice. Nice. Yeah, that'd be a good time to do it. Someone who's done it before that you have fun with, can relax with
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, it's good times. Um, speaking of,
yeah. Exactly.
enlightenment,
Right.
speaking of
This
like
isn't like a business
enlightenment,
trip type deal.
not a business trip.
Right.
Okay. So speaking of enlightenment, and sort of shifting ourselves away from material possessions and finding out, who we are and what we're capable of. I was looking at renting a Lambo. Um, they're a lot. It's like $1,000 for like a day.
A day?
Yeah. I was also looking at
That's
like,
upsetting. I mean, it's
yeah,
like what, $200 to just like clothe or to give yourself shelter for a night in a hotel. It's like
yeah,
$1,000 to drive the speed limit. The fuck?
yeah, exactly. And they had a Bugatti that you could rent for like $10,000 or $11,000 for the day. And I was like, what is the math on this? Like, how do you price that out?
I have to imagine that whoever rents that type of car for the day just drives it into the fucking ground. They're going to like 0 to 100, with like just like destroying the gears on it and really just fucking it up as much as possible, slamming on the brakes. I'm sure like the amount of wear and tear on those cars is just unparalleled. So they're like, look, if we don't charge $1,000 a pop, we're not going to make any money on this piece of shit.
Yeah, I don't understand how they price it. It probably has to do with like how hard the car is to fix and stuff too. But I just couldn't imagine spending that for like a day because every time that you can tell sometimes when people have like a rented car like downtown or whatever, like if they have like based on like the license plate or if they have that sticker on the dash, you can kind of tell. And so now whenever I'm like at a restaurant and I've like seen someone show up to like the valet with like a rented Lambo, I'm like, wait a second, so you're paying $1,000 for the car, your dinner is like 300. Where are you getting, what are you doing out of this? What are you getting out of this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a real power move. Just like sometimes I think about spending that kind of money and what else you could buy with it.
Yeah.
Like $1,000 is like food for I don't know what 6 months to 8 months. Like at the
a
grocery
thousand
store.
dollars
Uh, yeah, man,
You spend $1,000 in 8 months on food?
that's $125 a month.
You spend what? You spend less than $125 a month on food?
I'd say I'd spend like maybe one. No, you're right. I probably that was in my grad school days. I would actually spend
Okay.
$125 a month. Now, yeah, I probably spent closer to 300.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I could probably spend that in like a week on food now, like not even a problem. Like yeah, like even like a couple, I don't know, like a couple days, so big. Like I don't even really want to know. I think for me, my biggest expense, and I need to figure out a way to cut this down, is taxes. That's a big expense. You ever look at that one? Huh? Not good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you really need to start like a shell corporation or something.
Yeah, I don't really know what to do. If I can like register like myself as a business and everything I do is a business expense, but like then you have to like make money somehow, and that you have to pay yourself a reasonable salary, which like what does that even mean? It's rough out there. Uh,
Yeah, it's super rough.
yeah, I mean, if you're spending only like 125 bucks a month still on food, like I think I know where your depression is coming in. You must be just physically deteriorating. There's no way you can survive off that.
No, that was definitely grad school, man. I would actually spend about $125. Like $150 a month was like a big deal for me, for those 2 years.
Do you remember in college when you got fat over winter break? In like 4 weeks you gained like 25 or 30 pounds or something? And then
Of course, I remember.
we all saw you after the break and we're like, what the fuck? and then and then you lost it really quickly by just eating bread and spinach and I think maybe some peanut butter. And I asked you like, how many
Yeah.
calories are you eating a day? And you're like, oh, I think like, 15, 1600 or something. And we like added it up and it was like 90. If you took like you're eating like one piece of bread and a bowl of spinach every meal, and the bread was like 60 calories, and the spinach was like two. So you were eating like under 300 calories a day, and you're like, I think I'm getting a pretty good amount in. Like,
I mean, it really just goes to show you for all those people who are like, oh, losing weight is difficult. Take it from me. No, it's not. If you deprive yourself to the level of almost starvation for like 3 weeks, no, no problem.
yeah, I mean it did. Hey, it came off quick. You
No, I
didn't.
look great at the end of that. That was a great cut. When you eat like half a tomato and like a bunch of greens and a piece of bread, yeah, you're gonna you're gonna look real good. And then like the cognitive function starts to decline.
So I think that what I'm hearing here is that the Warren Buffett podcast with Matthew Warren-Katz and Steve Buffett diet consists of bulking up as much as possible in a 4 week period, then starving yourself with just one piece of bread and vegetables and magic mushrooms. That's the key to this diet.
That's all you need, baby.
You take the mushrooms and realize, I didn't even need to eat. Living isn't really worth it.
I'm not hungry just while on mushrooms. I'm just not hungry ever.
Yeah, that's the the model diet, the cocaine diet.
Yeah, for real. You have like one Tic Tac and some coffee, and you're good to go.
One tic tac, two if you're like, really feeling it.
If you did a workout, yeah.
Yeah. I you know what I haven't really been to like a lot of coffee shops lately. I feel like I used to get coffee from coffee shops a lot, but now during the pandemic I've kind of been like, is their coffee even better? Am I really enjoying this more than if I just had it at home?
I guess. What do you mean by that?
Like whenever I go out and I see a coffee shop or something, it feels like, oh, it'd be nice. I'm gonna get a coffee. I'm gonna walk around and have a fucking coffee, like like a
Mhm.
suburban like lady or something. Like it feels good. But then when I get the coffee, I'm always like, yeah, this is decent. But I feel like it's just as fine as if I had it at home. Like I'm never like blown away by coffee anymore, I guess.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that the other day. I was walking by a Starbucks and I was like, before the pandemic, I wouldn't have minded just kind of like walking in, grabbing a cup of whatever the fuck that probably cost them like 3 pennies, but cost me $3. And yeah, walking around my Starbucks cup, being like, oh, what a nice morning, and like giving people the side eye who don't have a Starbucks cup. And I'm just like, is that really necessary? No, it's not. It's
Yeah.
not that enjoyable when you're kind of like anxious about getting the cup and getting a virus.
Yeah, I feel like everything is like a lot more annoying than it used to be because it's like, oh yeah, I'll just go in there. You have to wait a couple minutes, whatever. But now you're like waiting and you're like, I hope I'm away from everybody. I hope I don't breathe on them or something. I don't know. It's just hard to.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I think that should all come back though. We'll be like, able to go do things. I want to go to an arcade bar. That's what I kind of feel like is, which is probably like one of the dirtiest things you can do. But I want to do it again.
Yeah, it's super dirty, man. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like I used to like just walking around grocery stores being like, "Oh, what's this? What's this feel like?
Yeah,
I bet this is tasty." And now I'm just like, I don't want to touch any of this. Get away from me. You look old, you look sick. And it's a totally different experience. It's just not enjoyable, It's just like an anxiety producing experience. Like going to a movie theater. That used to be a ton of fun. You'd get your buddies, you'd all go, then you'd all get a drink at the bar. But now it's like I don't I don't want to sit next to other people I don't know for like 2 hours.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think
it's
I
just
do
different.
like going to the movies though because, you really get to watch it, and it's hard to when I'm at home put a 2 hour movie on and just sit there for 2 hours and watch it. For some reason, I'm like,
Really?
oh, I have to pee. I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna go pee. Oh, I want to get a water. I'm gonna go get a water or something like that. But when I'm in the theater and I know I can't turn it off, it just makes me enjoy it more, I guess. Like I have to just stare at it the whole time and enjoy the fuck out of the movie. It's louder too, which is nice. Like it's a little too
It's
loud.
very
Movies are
loud.
too loud now, but it's
Yeah.
good that they're loud. Did you ever see Joker?
It's yeah, that was a good one.
So loud though.
Oh, it was incredibly loud. Yeah, every scene would start off like I'm kind of glad that that Christopher Nolan movie Tenet.
No.
Okay, well, have you seen Inception?
Yeah.
Okay, you know how super fucking loud it is with the like bong.
I actually never saw it in theaters. I saw it just like at home, but yeah, I could imagine it
All
being
right.
really loud. I saw
It's like that, yeah.
I saw uh that that Adam Sandler movie Uncut Gems. I saw that in theaters. That was a loud movie. I I had so much trouble feeling comfortable during that film because of how loud it was and how everything was so disjointed. They never finished a sentence. It felt like it was very frustrating.
You didn't like that movie, right?
I really did not. My synopsis of the film was an unlikable man yells for 3 hours. That's pretty.
That's okay. That's fair. That's yeah, that's a good take. I like that. I like that one-liner.
I feel
I
like I
kind
might
of
have to
liked it.
watch it
I liked
again.
it mostly because is it all right if we give spoilers in this? I
Yeah.
like what happened at the end to him.
Yeah, not bad. I think yeah, it's I don't understand how else it could have ended. That part was cathartic for me cuz in the film the whole time I was just like, can this guy ever shut the fuck up? And then,
And then he does. Then he
yeah.
shuts the fuck up. Yeah, I like that message in a movie. Like you can't just go around making terrible decisions and then like not expect anything to ever happen to you. You know what I mean? Like that to me was the whole message. Like you kind of get what's coming to you, and that's what happened.
I feel like that is so not the case though. I don't think anybody gets what's coming to them ever anymore. I feel like it's all
Like in
just
reality.
yeah. Name
What do you
one
mean?
person who got what was coming to them.
Uh, let's. I guess Bernie Madoff got what was coming to him.
Um yeah, I guess so. I feel bad for his wife sometimes, I guess, but not really.
Mrs. Bernie Madoff.
She had to know.
Of course she knew, man. No one brings in like a 20% return every year.
No, no, definitely not. Um Such a genius idea though, the Ponzi scheme. I would never
Yeah,
really do
I think
that.
he was the fall guy. I
Yeah.
think it was her and the kids all along.
So this is actually a good way for us to end here because we do have an announcement. We are actually starting our own cryptocurrency, the Warren Buffett podcast currency. And what's different about our currency is that we are guaranteeing you a 15% return every single year. And all you have to do is to lock in that 15% is you have to get 3 friends to also sign up. And then once you've done that, you will be getting 15% every year, compounded, and never take the full amount out, please. And that's it. Huh?
Yeah, I wholeheartedly endorse this product.
Excellent. Well, that is going to be the end of our episode here. Buy the WBP coin and get rich today. Good night.